Hi everyone, and welcome to the Game Week 8 Football Predictions. I'm here with Atul Jani.
Hi there pundits, and let's get straight into it.
Mate, we'll get straight into it, but firstly, we've got to talk about what the hell happened with that podcast. We tried to do it, we essentially, all intents and purposes, we did do it, but, and my wife will tell you the same, unfortunately, you could only hear my voice come out, and that was not good. So we've actually taken the time to come into the old Top Football Predictions headquarters, and we've done a video.
Yeah, indeed, but it was quite difficult for me to speak on the other end with an alien invasion going on and a tsunami impending. So
Absolutely.
I tried my best.
We've had Hurricane Michael and everything, but listen, we're back, and before I go stateside next week, we're doing the Game Week 8 review, and let's just assume nothing happened last week on the podcast. Let's take it for real, and yeah, we're just going to have to do it now, mate. But listen, you guys, it was all about Ryan, wasn't it? Was it 225 points Ryan got? Absolutely.
Well done, mate. There's a case of Hurricane Ryan. He blew away myself in the cup.
Yes, he did. We'll come to the cup in a little while, but yeah, basically 225 points without even playing a joker card. And well, if I remember, it was all about that Brighton West Ham Friday night game, wasn't it? Because he was the only person to get it spot on. 150 points. It was a hot shot game, and from then he just went from strength to strength.
Listen, as we always say, you get the points on the board earlier on in the week. You know, that game week, that Friday game week, he scored the points. Bang! He was like game on for him, wasn't it?
Absolutely, mate. And just looking through here, you got Graham 130 points, and we said about Graham, he won the previous game week, which was game week 7 with 330 points. He's now put 130 points in. He's well, in actual fact, in the last couple of weeks, mate, he's gone from the bottom position, he's gone right up to about 12th or 13th position. So anything can change, couldn't it?
Listen, mate, I've been saying it, since the season has
beating that drum,
and I'm going to beat that drum again. It all changes. It doesn't mean if you're near the bottom, you're going to stay at the bottom.
No.
People can move up and down like anything.
Absolutely. And Gary, 165 points. We like to mention Gary, but a solid performance from Gary then, game week 8.
Listen, Gary's a steady Eddie. I really do think he's a steady Eddie. He's
or a steady Gary, but
steady Gary, but he's a real deal. Better than Evander Holyfield, the real deal.
The real deal. I always say it, and I've been mentioning it the last couple of weeks, but Akram's impressing me, and another 130 points in game week 8 that he put in, and he's going about his business really well this season, and he's making those crucial prediction scores, and he's getting them right, isn't he?
Listen, Akram, I told you, if you get your predictions in, you're going to stay on top,
yeah.
And bloody hell, you're doing well.
Absolutely. Someone else who's not doing as great because he hasn't got his predictions in was Mike, but what he did do, he sent a placeholder as 1-0 for everyone, and then when he had time before the Saturday kickoffs, he actually made the proper scores. And that's the thing, it's all about getting your predictions in, isn't it?
Did he have 1-0 for the Brighton game?
No, he didn't, unfortunately. We changed it one. But all I'm saying is at least he got his scores in this time. But there's been some movers and shakers. Let's move the old... we've got the sheet up in here, and Daniel still leads the way, but only by 15 points ahead of Ryan. Dave Shaw's still there. Gary's up there. Danny Atwell's there. Akram's up there as well. And as I said, Graham's really pushing through the ranks. So it's really hotting up this league table, isn't it?
Yeah, it's only within the sort of like top 12, you just need to have a decent game week. And you're up there right at the top spot, or thereabouts.
Now, David Peach as well, putting some decent points this week, and we have to mention the Peach because he's been crying out for a mention, but he's doing all right at the moment. He's not rocking the boat, he's doing well, he's in 18th place right alongside me. Probably, like me as well, needs to get some of those Super 6, hot shot games, maybe Goal Fest or maybe the first goal scorer games, right? But if he gets a couple of those, then he'll see his position really head north, won't he?
Yeah, certainly. And as I keep on saying, it's just the luck of the draw. Sometimes, you get on that roll, all of a sudden, predictions just come through naturally, points just accumulate naturally. Yeah. There'll be a patch where the top guys will hit sort of like a barren spell, and then the people at the bottom will gain momentum. So, just stick with it. Everyone stick with it.
Mate, what's happened to Matt? Because it was only about 3 or 4 weeks ago he hit I think it was game week 5, 230 points, brilliant performance. And he's he's slipped down a greasy pole really, 70 and then 25 in the last three weeks respectively. I mean, what can he really be looking out for to try and get some more points? Because he had a great momentum there, but he's kind of fallen away a bit.
He's fallen away, but what you got to remember, Vance, is you're still there or thereabouts in the mix at the end of the day. You just continue playing your points, and as I said just a few seconds ago, you know, you get through good patches and bad patches, and luckily, in some senses, Mads has hit a bad patch this earlier on in the season.
Yeah.
So things will improve. You know, I think once he gains that momentum, the traction comes in, you'll start seeing Mads moving up the table, and we know how dangerous Mads is.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Now, I mean, Daniel Ledley, my cousin, he's leading it at the moment, and he did just put in 30 points, which is not really good on game week 8. But what I was going to say is he's had some really nice momentum going forward. I think only 1 week in 5 he hasn't scored 100 plus. But generally we're seeing this season, people like me and you, where we're coasting along under the 100, then we'll put in a big score and then we'll go back to those mediocre scores. But it's trying to find those predictions to give you some consistency, which will really move you through the table, don't you think, mate?
Yeah, and again, it's just finding the rhythm at the end of the day. You know, once you start getting the flow of predictions, you get the feel of it. You start feeling more comfortable with putting a bigger score with the teams. You know, I think teams now, slowly but surely, they'll start fitting into their own sort of like rhythm as well. So we all now identify the top 3 teams.
Yeah, absolutely.
Whereas at the beginning it was like a top 8 or top 9 or whatever, and now we're starting to see the teams which we can bank points on.
Absolutely,
and we're talking about the top teams, and we're also talking about the relegation contenders.
Of course.
You know, I think we're all starting to keep one eye on the sack race, and we're keeping one eye on the relegation contenders now, because it's starting to build that picture, so you can start having a better feel of things, and also making the predictions, because you know, not being horrible, you might think Huddersfield are going to lose again, so you're going to put them down as a loss.
Absolutely. And I mean, someone else as well, he didn't score 100 this time, he got 70, but for the last prior 3 weeks, Josh Bullock's playing well this season. He's gone under the radar a little bit, but he deserves a mention because he's getting some really good, decent 100 plus scores, isn't he? Yeah,
and I wouldn't say he's going under the radar, and I don't think he's really had a bad week. I mean, if you look at it, 125, 175, 240, and you know, 70 is no mean feat, considering that's above average of this week, which was around 60, 61, 62.
I think you're right with your averages, even on the podcast, that no one could hear. But yeah, you gave some great analyses of averages, but no, there are some good performances. I mean, we're just reflecting here again, and Danny Atware, same as Mads, was in actual fact a bit better than Mads. He performed really strongly in game weeks. I think it was like 5, 6, 7, and then I think it was just game week 8 itself. I mean, there was some predicted results and they didn't come off, and people have gone down a bit, and we all built it up because it wasn't just game week 8. It wasn't just like there was hot shot and super. It was the start of the Predictions Cup, and we all got jelly wobble legs and got excited, and then nothing really happened.
Yeah,
so, you know,
it's a bit of a
only for Ryan that hit it on the Friday night. But
unfortunately for me.
but we'll come to that video shortly anyway. But we can't really talk about game week 9, mate, because there's boring international week coming up yet again. I mean, I don't really care who we're
what
playing.
What happens during international week? Is there like market stalls and things like that?
Yeah, well, I'm going on holiday because it's international week. That's why. But but no, I think we've got England have got Croatia and Spain or something in some.
And aren't they playing an empty stadium or something?
Something like that.
So who's going to go and watch them?
Well, TalkSport was saying that there are still fans that are still going out there just so they can say, I've been to every away game since 1964. But they'll probably just be drinking outside with a big flat screen outside the stadium and just like watch it from there. But I don't know. But yeah, I think the key basically is look out for those in the predictions game. Look out for those hot shot games, those special games that give you points. Get your predictions in early, obviously, and just keep the momentum going, because you just don't know. And when it does come to the Predictions Cup games, you're not just looking out for your scores, you're looking out for your opponents, and that's when it becomes quite exciting, doesn't it, mate?
Yeah, it's not just exciting, but it becomes tactical as well.
Tactical affair.
You know.
And the bonus points are reflected in from game week 8 for the first cup game, but we'll come to that in the next video. But yeah, it's all go at the moment, mate, isn't it?
It is all go, and it's great to see the cup kicking off now. And you know, there is a few people who haven't played in the first week, so obviously because of the fixtures, etc.
Of course.
So you know, in due course, we will be welcoming them to the party as well.
For sure.
And you know, there's plenty of points to pick up, as Mark has alluded to. You know, already can pick up bonus points on the Predictions Cup, which can be transferred onto your Predictions League
end of season total, yeah.
So there's plenty to play for. On top of that, you've got your bonus points in relation to goal scorer, and hot shots and super sixes, etc., etc.
Absolutely.
So there's a long way ahead to go. So many points to accumulate, and maybe a lot of twists and turns before we get to the end.
For sure. So now it's coming up almost mid-October. I'm about to go on vacation, so I'm handing over the reins to you, pal. What it means to you guys is basically not that much difference. You just need to get your scores over on the WhatsApp group, or for those that want a direct message, text message, email, whatever. I think you know Atul's details. I can drop them on the WhatsApp group anyway. But just get them over, and I need to actually give you mine for 2 weeks in advance, don't I? Get them over. So
for sure.
He'll be chasing me up soon, but get them over ready for game week 9. Because as soon as we're moaning about the international break, it'll be done and dusted, and then we're straight back in. So good luck, everyone.
Yeah, good luck.